Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. First of all, I'm Faridatul Fauziah, and I will be the moderator in this talk show. Let's talk about anything. Today, we invited Ms. Rana Sabil Alfarisi, who will read some news about the wage gap related to the gender equality issues. I'm also with Mr. Guntur Ade Putra as a source person who will deliver the material on gender equality, especially about the wage gap. Welcome to the news anchor, Ms. Rana Sabil Alfarisi, the source person, Mr. Guntur Ade Putra, and the audience. Thank you so much for being here. Let me begin by giving you a warm welcome to this event. Today's discussion is motivated by our concern about the issue of gender equality. This time, we will discuss about the gender equality and the wage gap between female and male labor. For today's discussion to run smoothly, the news anchor will first deliver some news to the audience and then proceed with the delivery of material by the source person. To shorten the time, our next agenda is a news reading by Ms. Rana Sabil Alfarisi. I will give the floor to her.
Good evening, viewers. I am Rana Sabil and I am the news anchor from Let's Talk, bringing you three news about gender equality. The first news is Amazon sued by three female employees. Gender discrimination, unfair wage. Allegation of gender discrimination and pay disparities have surfaced at Amazon as three employees, Caroline Wilmot, Catherine Schoomer, and Erin Scops, filed a lawsuit against the company. They claim that female colleagues were consistently placed in lower-ranking positions despite sharing identical roles with male counterparts, resulting in significantly lower pay. Wilmot disclosed that three-quarters of female research team members held lower paid positions compared to men. Shockingly, male researchers with similar job description were purportedly earning 150% more than their female counterparts, including Catherine Schoomer. Furthermore, the employees accused Amazon of retaliation, citing the motion shortly after raising complaints. Amazon spokesperson Brad Gresser refuted allegations of gender discrimination, expressing the company's determination to refute the claims legally. Gresser underscored Amazon's dedication to a discrimination-free workplace, noting their thorough investigation of reported incidents. The class action lawsuit, initiated by Caroline Wilmot and fellow employees, would file in the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Washington. The formal filing was conducted by Outen and Golden, a New York law firm representing Google executives in a distinct gender discrimination case. The second news is Google agrees to pay IDR 1.72 trillion for gender discrimination lawsuit. Google has agreed to a 118 million US dollar settlement in a long-standing class action lawsuit addressing gender pay disparities within the company. The suit, initiated by three women in 2017, alleged that Google paid lower salaries to female employees in comparison to male colleagues with the same job titles, violating the Pay Equality Act. The settlement, pending judicial approval, requires independent assessment of the Google's hiring practice and pay equity studies. Holyface, a plaintiff, expressed hope for improved equality. This isn't the first time Google faced work-related insecurity, previously settling a $2.5 million lawsuit for underpaid female engineers and facing investigation for alleged discrimination by California Department of Justice for Employment and Housing. The last news is marginalization of women workers, wage discrimination against female garments workers. During the COVID-19 pandemic, female garment workers faced three forms of gender-based violence and harassment, as related by the Asia Floor Wage Alliance Search. Companies implement unilateral layoff of wage cut, ignore leave and rest entitlement, and subject workers to economic violence, impacting their homes and families. SFGA emphasized the urgent need for human rights testing in factories, urging garment companies to address this issue after their supplies chains and provide compensation for protect gaps. They call on international fashion brands to adopt an enforceable wage agreement, proposing a 25% premium contribute on orders to bridge the gap between minimum and living wage, fitting workers in producing countries like Indonesia. That's all news for today. Check this out at letstalk.com for the latest update. Thank you for your attention. Have a great day.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Rana Sabil. The next agenda is the material delivered by Mr. Guntur Ade Putra. I will give the floor to him.
Hello, good morning. I'm Guntur Ade Putra, and I'm human rights activity from Indraprastha University.
Okay, hello, Mr. Guntur. So, talking about gender equality, Mr. Guntur, what do you think about gender equality?
Of course, we need to know that social scientists mediate the term gender to explain which difference between women and men are innate as God's creation and which are cultural formation that are constructed, studied, and socialized. The concept of gender socially has given birth to difference in the role of women and men in their environment. In general, the existence of gender has given birth to roles, responsibilities, function, and even space where humans move. The meaning of gender equality is the view that all people should receive equal treatment and not to be discriminated against based on their natural gender identity.
Okay, then, why does gender inequality lead more often towards women than men?
Gender equality shouldn't favor one sex. The focus on women issues often arises the more visible history of inequality. The principle is to balance the right and justice for all individuals, regardless of gender.
Does gender inequality also occur in men?
Is it important to remember that gender equality isn't just about women, but also about men? There are quite a lot of examples of cases in this country.
What does the case look like?
Men often face social pressure and stereotypes that affect their life, mainly relates to social expectation of masculinity, roles in the family, and pressure to show strength and resilience.
Okay, now based on the slide, we can see the statistic data about the wage gap between male and female workers or employees in Indonesia. So, in your view of the statistics, why is there still a wage gap between male and female workers while there are regulations governing it in Indonesia?
In my opinion, factors that influence it include subordination. It means a judgment or assumption that a role performed by one sex is inferior to the other. The values prevailing in society have separate gender roles. For example, men are considered responsible and have a role in the earning a living compared to women. This causes men's wage to be higher than women's wage.
Okay, now then, what is the fate of female workers who now have a dual role as a housewife and the backbone of the family or breadwinner?
Worker with dual roles as a housewife and family breadwinner face high pressure. Spousal support company policies that support work balance and social change that support gender equality can help them manage the burden.
Okay, in closing, what message do you want to convey to the younger generation in addressing this issue of gender equality?
The attitude that needs to be taken by the younger generation as an effort to respond to gender equality issues is first to fight for gender balance. The second is eliminate gender inequality. Third, benefit both genders. Fourth, provide equal opportunities for both genders. And the last one is uphold justice for both genders.
Okay, the presentation of the material has been delivered by Mr. Guntur. Thank you so much, Mr. Guntur. So we arrived at the end of the event. This presentation is expected to stimulate us to realize how important gender equality is to minimize the wage gap for men and women. As a young generation, we need to fight for gender balance, eliminate gender inequality, provide equal opportunities, and uphold justice for both genders, men and women. Thank God, today's series of events has been completed. Hopefully, what was conveyed by the source person and the news anchor today can be useful as knowledge and awareness for all of us to more care about gender equality issues around us. I would like to thank to Mr. Guntur and Ms. Rana Sabil Alfarisi, also the audience who attended to this event. That's the last talk today. As the moderator, apologize if there is a mistake during the discussion. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.